Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel Anaka Design. You'll never guess what I saw this morning. Blue sky. We had a nice little rain last night, and it's windy again today, but it has, for the first time in a few weeks, it feels like it's blown the forest fire smoke out of the air and away from us. So, happy day. If you're at all like me, you probably have been saving these sorts of portfolios or folders, I guess. I don't know what the real word is. They typically come, okay, this is a real estate one. This is an accounting firm. This one I got at a thrift store. I don't know what was in it originally, but you know, that little skeleton leaf there. It's got a UNICEF logo on it. So I've been kind of waiting for the day to do something with them. Now I also started covering this one with some lovely gift wrap that I bought by the roll. Now it is 12 inches tall and 9 inches wide, which makes it fairly big. And I basically stopped because I didn't know what to do next. And that happens sometimes. Clearly I would have to put in a patch or do something here. But, you know, sometimes when we stop doing something, it's probably for a good reason. So this particular thing, and I thought I was going to do this in front of you, to be honest. This little thing began life as a a typical, you know, two-pocket folder. This was from the Alberta government, and I cut it down. I guess I'm missing one of these pieces. Oh no, here's where this was the height and this was the two pockets. So this is how big it was originally, which would be kind of like that, probably that 9 by 12. So that I think was maybe the first good decision that I made. Not in my life, but in this particular project. So I, of course, am keeping these because, you know, the inside is pretty nice. And because this was the outside edge, this was what kept the pockets closed. Anyway, let me show you what I've done. Now I have, before I do that, let me bring something else in. A long time ago, in a place far away, I bought a bunch of things from Forever French. And that's Louise, and she is in France, and I ended up buying a few things from her, you know, to kind of justify the shipping and so on. So this, and I'll just quickly give you a peek. I'm obviously holding this together with elastics. You can see how long it is, 1856. I guess it's entitled to look a little beat up. This is an agenda. So basically, it's got this table here, and it's got pages like that, and it's got these, you know, where somebody recorded something on, you know, most days. Now, I scanned some of this and some of these pages, and obviously when something is this size, it it doesn't fit on a normal 8.5 by 11. But oh, that broke. Basically, I scanned some of what I thought were the more attractive pages and put them in what I called a French grunge kit in my Etsy shop. This one is 1893 and lovely. Look at these end papers. Again, maybe I should turn it sideways so you can see more of it. So it's got Again, you know, interesting font, some advertising, and I guess these tall, skinny ledger pages. So again, scan some of those, both ones with writing as well as blank ones, because of course, you know, in a digital kit, you kind of like to be able to print something that can be used at the back of a tag. This is a bit of a treat. This is 1938, but look at it is all, like I guess this would, it's like tissue. Let me see if I can pick one up here. That's two. Okay, so you can probably see my hand through there. So it is like essentially a book full of carbon copies. I don't really know. Like in the description, it was copy, C-O-P-I-E, but that could just be a French spelling, book. And of course, it is just, it's got several hundred pages. And of course, this is beautiful. It was a bit of an IQ test to see how to scan it so that it wasn't backwards. But anyway, I figured it out. Got the nice numbers in the corners. It's got these little tabs at the back here, which I haven't done anything with. I think these pages may be all blank. But yeah, these tissue, and look at the foxing. These tissue type papers are just magnificent. I hope the color is coming through, because they're like tissue paper. So if you glue it down, it is, you know, everything beneath it shows. So anyway, I've been keeping kind of, I have a bit of a basket going on where I've been keeping some French stuff together, including any little French charms or my fleur-de-lis type stamps. This, not that this is French, but this is vintage wrapping paper that I picked up not so long ago. I picked all the pieces of tape off it, and somehow it really appealed to me. It looked old, it looked, well, I don't know, it just appealed to me. So what I did was, after I cut down that, these pieces, I was then left with a 9x6, which is sort of the typical size. I covered the booklet or the folder with that gift wrap. I used some digitals. I had a French book with poetry or some, I guess, poetry in it. I used my fleur-de-lis stamp. I used some, oh, I put all that away. Tissue paper from my, not tissue paper, napkins. In my Etsy, I have a collection of napkins that are sort of all have a Paris French theme to them. So this is one of those napkins, and I kind of isolated some of the pieces. I finally, only 17 months later, or was it 15? 15 or 17 months later, finally began using my wax kit. So I thought this one looked kind of good with the colors. This is, and I have to say I'm a little proud of myself because I used some real, like, authentic stuff out of these books I've just been showing. Anyway, and then I got carried away and I just kept on going. And I'm thinking, well, I better show these people something. So, okay, I told you that when I cut off the sides, I obviously cut off that closed pocket. So then I thought, I have a number of envelopes in, you know, a variety of sizes. Why don't I see if I can add some flippy things? Like, you know, everyone else in the world is doing flippy things. Can I not, like, what am I, chopped liver? Can I not do flippy things too? So this is a little envelope, and I punched it on the side so you would know it's a little envelope. This is real. This is real. I mean real as opposed to digital. This is out of a French dictionary, and you can see how beat up it was. This little thing I used kind of as a, well, as an indicator that maybe you should lift it. But I had just circle punched these off a border of some kind of scrap paper. This is another napkin out of that French, assortment that I said I had. I don't know where this card came from. That's more that same napkin. That's a digital out of that kit. This is the one of the real pages out of that book. Now, of course, because it was just going on an envelope. Okay, yeah, this was an envelope that I had attached there. And then I opened the envelope up, and that's why, I mean, you can see that that would have been an envelope shape. But I wanted to provide some room to write and, again, have some flippy stuff. This is part of a digital. I believe that is too. And basically, I glued that flap onto what would have been like this pocket thing. And of course, in order to close it up, I had to put glue there as well. And I used Fabri-Tac for that job because it was, a little bit, a little trickier. This is a digital. This little bit here in blue is is off that that copybook that I was showing. This is a digital. I'm not sure where that came from. This is I guess somewhere I have a little Eiffel Tower stamp that I had stamped on, what do you call this? Cotton fabric. Had done just a little row of stitching around it. So this was a cute little envelope. I used part of the dictionary, again, part of that copy paper. Now this envelope was pink, so that's why it looks that way. Fussy cut. This is a French postcard. I don't know if it's I can't remember if it's in the digital kit or not, but I printed photo page. That's why I was able to make that fit. So this is the little envelope. This is an end paper from something, or a digital of an end paper from something. And again, just used some pages out of a book to cover the envelope. This is, this was a title page out of a mushroom book. Again, put some of that blue copy stuff over it. More of that dictionary that is so very beat up. Not sure where that digital came from. I will start getting better in terms of keeping track of that. This is digital. This is digital. These are just little, they're circles. And I just tucked them into this shallow little pocket that again is part of a digital, and it came out of there. So this was an image I cut out of a book, and I just backed it with part of that, with one of those copy papers that had, it was more white space than actual, writing. These, I'm not sure where they came from. Tuck those in as well. Whoops. This may be part of my French grunge kit. I do not know for sure. The images are out of some of them are out of a French fashion book that I have from, well, who knows when. This is part of the digital kit. So I printed it, I folded, I squashed it up, I inked it, I tore it. I stamped the back of it with sort of a stylized fleur-de-lis, and basically stuck it in this pocket. So that, and the back I really didn't do anything to. These marks, that was from tape. I couldn't get it off, so I just left it. And basically just inked here and there. Now, it's pretty hard to tell because I've covered much of this, but what I did with the front cover that I forgot to do with the back is that once I kind of had my piece of paper, you know, sized out, I squashed it up to put some creases into it, which then gives that sort of an effect. And another place that will take ink quite readily. But forgot to do that, so this is not quite as maybe grungy looking. The other thing I did, and in hindsight, I think it was a good idea. You can probably see, now that could also be a fold. Is that a fold line? Well, it is definitely a fold line, but along here you can see that when I was covering the folder, I wrapped it around the edge because it strengthens it. It makes a nice clean edge, but it also gives you that line. Now, is that a bad thing? No, not necessarily. Is it something that a person maybe would like to hide? Perhaps. Again, it's not an issue at all on the front because there's so much other action happening. So I just wanted to show you that. I'm sorry that I didn't include you in more of this. However, you do know, you know how to do this. You know how to cut, you know how to paste, and yeah. So thank you very much for joining me. Did I say it was day 71? If I didn't, it is. And I will see you guys again tomorrow. Bye.